welcome to Round Robin. I'm your host, Robin McCormick with the City of Hampton. And today we are going to ask you to help us walk Hampton clean for Earth Day. My guest is Cris Ausink of the Clean City Commission. Welcome.
Well, thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
This is a great initiative because it's one of those things where if each of us does a little part, we cover the whole city.
Yes.
So how? How are we going to do this, Cris?
Well, this is a chance for everyone. There's nobody excluded. Everybody can participate because we give you the freedom to do it on your time, your schedule, your day. And we're doing Earth Day weekend, and it's Friday the 21st, Saturday the 22nd is Earth Day, and Sunday the 23rd. And so
and this is expanded. It's never been 3 days before.
It's never been 3 days.
Okay.
Yeah, we did one time like Clean the Bay Day, just a certain time period, and then we expanded to have the schools involved so they can do it during recess and their schoolyards.
And after they could do it after school. You could have Cub Scout group or Girl Scouts or you know the SCA, any group or organization, as long as you got a sponsor, could do this on the school grounds or nearby.
Right, and they also the purpose of it is to get people out in their neighborhood, and if they get out in their neighborhood, then they'll really see what happens. You'll see things that they don't see as they rush off to work in the morning, or got to go pick up the kids, and they don't see really what is on the ground that actually will end up in our storm drains and could plug them up so that the water does not drain, and it also ends up into our waterway.
So really there's a couple issues. One is, and the big one is pollution of the waterways, pollution of the ground. Some of the things that people throw out are harmful. Either they break down and they're toxic, like cigarettes, which you've talked about before.
Oh yes.
Or the plastics, some of the wrappers can harm or kill animals. Turtles, or the
plastic bags.
Yeah, the plastic bags are dangerous. The rings, the can rings are bad. There are a lot of things out there in addition to just messing things up. And that's the other thing too. It's not pretty. Litter is not pretty. It ruins our community.
It really isn't. And it's really, this is a great opportunity because you can walk 15 minutes, just give 15 minutes and just do your street. And I'm happy. 15 minutes, walk up and down your street or your circle or whatever. And, or you could do half hour, you could do an hour, or you could spend the morning and see how far you can walk. Because
it's not the greatest exercise when you're stopping all the time. So you get some breaks. They're just built in.
Yes, right. It's not a marathon race or whatever, a marathon walk, but it's a great opportunity for different families to do get all your family together and do it as a family. You can do it as a church, and on Sundays, if you want to have it after the church or before after the church, well, let's go, clean our neighborhood. And this is an opportunity where everybody gets to shine, because if you're part of a group, if you have church t-shirts, you can go into your neighborhood around your church and say, we're here, and we care about you, and we want our neighborhood clean. So I've got scouts that are going to wear their uniform and try to do in the area where they have their meetings, so that the kids around will know, oh, there's a scout troop at that church.
And look, they do cool things.
And they do cool things. They're out, and they use the litter sticks, and that's the fun part for the kids. And they're doing something, and so it's a chance to shine for every organization to shine, or just to do it for yourself.
And now, Cris, some of this is actually doing the work, but some of it is you want to know how many people are volunteering. And, and so there's a reporting back.
There is. It's not just
because every day when I take a walk, if I see litter, I pick it up.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
And I don't tell you or the Clean City Commission that I've done that.
Oh, You should. every time you record and let us know what you've picked up, that is a plus for us and for our city, because that way we know how much we require to report how much debris is kept out of our water. And that helps us. So if you say, well, I was out here in Buckrow Beach and I picked up 2 bags of trash along the beach, just go to the Hampton Clean City website. You can just Google it or do hampton.gov/HCCC, and there's a report form, and just report it so that we have record of how much debris is being kept out of our waterways.
I don't do that, but I do notice, if I walk to lunch downtown and there's litter, I'm going to pick it up for the most part. But now, if you're doing this intensive kind of cleanup, are there safety rules? Are there
definitely
guidelines you want people to follow?
Yes, definitely. Of course, safety comes first. We do not want you on a busy road that, we don't want children on a busy road. We want to make sure if the children are there that it's safe, has, a safe place to walk, and that you're in charge, because we don't want them running out in the street and getting hit. But we're trying to do as many streets as possible. I believe last year we did 105 streets, and we're trying to do as many miles. And we did, I think it was 105 miles we did, and I don't remember how many streets, but it was 105 miles of streets that we did in Hampton, and we had over 700 volunteers last year.
That sounds great. Okay, so do we need any equipment? Do we need?
Yes, if you want to borrow equipment, because this is a community, we borrow.
Right.
We borrow equipment. We do have litter sticks. Of course, the sooner you register, the more likely there'll be litter sticks available. But we do.
Because there are some things we don't want to pick up with our hands. Like,
right.
I won't touch cigarette butts.
No, we do not want you touching cigarette butts with your hands.
I'll pick up
wearing
a wrapper
gloves.
from
We do have
chips,
gloves that we wash and sanitize. Otherwise, you can just, buy some plastic ones that are disposable.
Or, like I did with you reach your hand through the newspaper bag and not have to touch it.
That's a very clever idea. Yeah, that's a good way. But we do that, and we do provide trash bags.
Okay.
And you can register online at Hampton Clean City Commission website, which is hampton.gov/HCCC. Okay. And on the right-hand side, there'll be quick links, and you'll find Walk Hampton Clean. Click it and fill out the information so that we know what street you're walking. Because I think it was last year or the year before, I was able to connect some neighbors that didn't know each other, and they wanted to walk the same street. And I said, hey, would you mind walking? Oh, okay. So that was a cool way of getting to meet your neighbors, too, and seeing.
Well, and the other thing is, there are neighborhoods where people are more able to volunteer and give of time more than some other neighborhoods. So you might also be able to tell people, here's some underserved areas. And I think that's the other thing, too. If you get churches or nonprofits, a lot of those people don't know or aren't from that immediate neighborhood, but they can have a big impact on that neighborhood.
And the purpose of this year, I'm going to do a little something so people have the connection between what's on their front yard and where it's going. If I know what street you're going and you're at, I will let you know what waterway it goes to, because there's like King Street. Part of King Street goes to Hampton River, and part goes to Back River.
Yeah.
So it doesn't necessarily mean that where that one street goes to one watershed. It all depends where you're at on the street.
But we all go to Hampton goes to a watershed. There's very few places you are in Hampton where you're more than a mile from a waterway.
True. It is
Newmarket Creek goes right through the middle, and then you've got water around, probably about 3 sides.
Yeah, and Newmarket Creek actually splits, and part of it goes to James River, and the other goes to Back River. So it's really well, I like it. I think it's really interesting to see where the water flows and how it goes. So. But this is a wonderful opportunity, and you can do you can do even 15 minutes. I'm happy.
Okay.
But
well, we need to make Cris happy. That's the goal here.
Because it's just, and then just let me know where you went, and I will calculate, I can do it on the GIS, how far you went. If you did both sides of the street, that's double, because that's 2 storm drain sections that are going into the storm drain.
Okay, so we want people to participate.
Yes.
We're looking for groups that include children, groups of anybody, and we want you to register.
Yep, yes, and we, for some, if they're real little, we'd put them on either a beach or a
playground.
You've got school playground or something like that. So, and we community centers. I'd like to get the community centers also involved.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, so 3 days.
3 days.
April 21, 22, and 23, which gives people a lot of time. So, you know,
plenty of time.
Yeah, you got time to plan, time to organize, time to register, and time to walk, whatever that time might be. 15 minutes, couple hours, whatever you can do.
Yes, yep, you have it right.
All right.
You're right on.
Thank you. And I will say this, and we should revisit this later, but City Council just approved a change to the litter laws that was started by the state, and they're encouraging it, but it's a much bigger fine to litter now. Like, we should get to the point where we don't have to clean this mess up.
That's right.
The original thing is for people not to throw.
What I'd like to see is people walk more miles and have less litter, and see how, maybe we should start where we decide, see how less litter we pick up.
Right. That would be
year.
an achievement.
That would be an achievement.
And some of it is unintentional. You know,
Right.
it can blow out of a trash can, it can blow out of a car, but mostly people are littering. They are deliberately making the choice to make the city look bad.
Yeah.
And we need to stop that, and then we can put those volunteer hours to other uses.
Also, businesses. We'd like to see. We have some businesses, H&R Block, different ones are. There's several businesses, Verizon, different ones that are participating. So it's a good thing for you as a business.
And
also.
brings the whole
your parking
community.
lot. Just do your parking lot.
And brings the community together.
Yes.
We're all in this together.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much,
Thank you so much
Cris.
for inviting me. It's always a pleasure to be on.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
And thank you for watching. I hope you will, A, not litter in the first place, and B, help us clean up Hampton for Earth Day. And we'll do such a good job this year, and we'll reduce litter, and we won't have to do this next year. We can work on other things. Thanks for watching.